It's Friday, January 27th. Teachers are in for a treat. Ag welcomes a new member. And what would you tell the world? All this and more on this week's edition of The Stinger on Air. Good morning, Jackets. I'm Braxton Rolson, and welcome to this week's edition of The Stinger on Air. Sometimes teachers need a pick-me-up in the middle of the day. Some BHS students may have the sweet solution. Stinger on Air's Michael Escamilla has more.
The Buford Brew is coffee, hot chocolate, and occasional baked goods offered to all faculty and staff.
Kendall Horn's consumer science class is starting up a fundraiser that is also a way to brighten staff members' day.
Because everybody needs that afternoon pick-me-up. I'm a huge coffee lover, and I want the kids to serve.
The funds go to the Family Consumer Science program here at BHS. We're trying to build that up because we're offering Family Consumer Science 2 and Foods and Nutrition in the future. So we need the funds for future projects.
Students involved in the Buford Brew get to learn what it's like to run a business in the food industry. The Brew Crew gets real-life experience in management and marketing along the food preparation. The Buford Brew will operate during flex time to serve their treats to teachers. Teachers can look forward to the Buford Brew on the first week of February. I'm Michael Escamilla. Back to you, Braxton.
You may not have seen him, but you've definitely heard him. Buford has welcomed a new member to the Jacket Nation. Milk Dud, the calf, provides ag students with a unique hands-on learning experiences. Peyton Shute is the primary caregiver for the calf.
When we're doing animal stuff, and right now we're learning about cows and the dairy cows and the different types of cows, so it's just easier to be able to come out here and spend one-on-one time with him and just learn more hands-on.
Y'all also realize this is good cardio. You walk everywhere.
BHS had visitors last Friday. Student Council gave rising 9th graders a tour of the school. The 8th graders got a glimpse into high school life and had the opportunity to meet Principal Michael Belk along with guidance staff. This was the first 8th grade tour since before COVID. The idea was to help ease the students' nerves about the transition to high school. Psychology students learned about senses in an odd way. Kristen Snipes took her class to the football field where they went through a sensory obstacle course. The Jackets were challenged to complete certain tasks without key senses like sight or hearing, and sometimes both. In sports, the BHS wrestling team brought home a region championship on Friday night, but it did come at a cost with some wrestlers suffering injuries. Coach Garrett Plyler says his team is still determined to reach goals set in preseason.
Our first goal was a region championship, so we've met that goal. Our next goal was a lower state championship, and it all depends on whether we're healthy or not. They've met all expectations we expected them to make. So
the team travels to North Central tonight for individual duels. Last Friday, our Lady Jackets fought hard against the Chesterfield Rams, winning at the half, but fell short in the final 47-32. At the free throw line, they were 81%, and Reese Sutton led the team with 8 points and 9 rebounds. This past Tuesday night, they lost a tough game to the Sherrall Braves. The Jackets had 26 rebounds and put up 11 steals for a final score of 44-38. They take on the Andrew Jackson Volunteers this coming Tuesday. Last Friday, the boys came up short against Chesterfield 56-50, and on Tuesday, the Jackets fell short against Sherrall in a nail-biter 53-52. The varsity Jackets will host Andrew Jackson here at the Hive Tuesday. Let's come out and support those Jackets. The JV boys will play Andrew Jackson at Andrew Jackson Monday. We all have a lot to say and think everyone wants to listen. Well, that's not always the case. If you could get everyone's attention for a few seconds, what would you say? Michaela Cato hit the street to find out.
Each week, the Buford Stinger works very hard on our show because, well, the whole school's watching. Well, what would you do if you had to say something in front of the entire school? Better yet, the whole world. If you had the entire world's attention for a few seconds, what would you say?
Spread kindness and be nice to everybody.
I would say end violence and homelessness.
Jesus loves you.
It's about to end.
Donde está la leche?
Why?
Because you gotta know where the milk is.
Do you know that cheese starts with cheeseburger?
What? Okay. If you had the world's attention for a few seconds, what would you say?
Come to La Chalupa.
That I'm the best in the world.
Why?
Because I'm the best in the world, and if I had the whole world's attention, then it would mean that it's true.
If you had the entire world's attention for a few seconds, what would you say?
Your mama.
Thank you.
Just be better to each other.
Don't trust your father.
Oh, okay.
Can you cash at me $1?
Long live rock and roll.
If you had the world's attention for a few seconds, what would you say? Thank you. If I had the world's attention for a few seconds, I'd say subscribe to the Buford Stinger, but that's just me personally. I'm Michaela Cato, and that's all for this week's Stinger on the Street.
Thanks, Michaela. Mr. Belk, you have our attention, but just for a few seconds. What do you want to tell the world?
Well, Braxton, just a few seconds. I may struggle with this. Love and be loved. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. So that's my few seconds for that. Now, maybe the more lengthy portion of my segment. I apologize, Buford High School. All right, so just wanted to start off, as I normally do, just some staff birthdays. Wanted to mention a few folks that have their birthdays coming up. Nurse Cheryl, her birthday is Saturday, January 28th. Mr. O'Neill, his birthday is Tuesday, January 31st. And then Miss Kristen Snipes, her birthday is next Friday, February 3rd. So happy birthday, y'all. Hope you have a wonderful day when that time comes. Thank you for all that you do here at Buford High School. All right, want to recognize some folks for Jacket Pride for this week. Some folks that were recognized for showing personal responsibility, respect, integrity, dedication, and excellence. First of all, I want to thank Miss Polston, Miss Jacob, and Miss Bailey for recognizing folks. Remember, we always say, find out what you're looking for. Thank you so much for recognizing these young folks. We have Mr. John Ross Newton, Miss Mackenzie Robinson, Miss Jada Richardson, Malachi Miller, and Naheem Clark. All right, and Naheem Clark, you are our T-shirt winner for the week, so each of you can come up during your own time, grab your little shout out, your Cersei, and then also Naheem, grab that T-shirt. Great job. Thank you for showing that Jacket Pride. Keep it up. We appreciate you. All right, just a few things to be mindful of. We are at the point we have 1 week left in the first grading period of the spring semester. All right, so be mindful. We always say time flies. So with that, make sure that you have plans to accomplish your goals, okay? Talk about being greater than average is working to achieve what it is you set out to do when you begin with the end in mind. So a few things. I have a quote that kind of supports that for this week. It's anonymous. It simply says, if the plan doesn't work, change the plan, not the goal. All right, so it's all about in life tweaking, adjusting. When things get tough, that's the way that life is at times. How do we adjust? How do we approve the plan to get us to where we want to be? All right, so with that, continue to be mindful that our after-school program, as well as recovery, starts next week. That's from 4 to 5 after school on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Remember, we do have bus transportation if you live in the Buford attendance zone. Be mindful of that. Also with recovery, remember it's those afternoon times, same as the after-school program, and then Tuesday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 8:30 in Ms. Herndon's room, or 8 to 8:35, all right? So remember, with recovery specifically, make sure that you are going and attending that recovery as you owe it. You do not need to wait. That needs to be done as you owe recovery, all right? So just be very mindful of those items coming up. Make sure this first grading period, we're ending strong this next week coming up, and that we're proud of what we have accomplished as a result of our efforts. All right, so just with that being said, hope that everybody has a wonderful and safe day today, and then a great weekend when the time comes. Have a great one, y'all. Go Jackets.
Thanks, Mr. Belk. That's it for this edition of the Stinger on Air. A big thank you to our sponsors both here and on BufordStinger.com. Without them, it would be difficult to do this each week. If you are interested in becoming a Stinger supporter, check out our website at BufordStinger.com. We also encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It will really help us get the word out about all things Buford Nation. Until next week, I'm Braxton Rawlson for Stinger on Air.